spent a week in Los Angeles, California. But while we were there, one of the groups we went and visited was at Central City Community Church. We actually went down to Skid Row, which is where it's located, and they have a weekly karaoke night for the homeless. It was more of a celebration. It was more of a just a joyful occasion. The pastor introduced everybody to the night as it being a worship service, and that they were there to do that you didn't have to join, but that he wanted everyone to respect that, to stand in prayer, and just to honor Jesus with the night. So that alone started things off differently. They brought in youth groups, and I guess they bring in different youth groups every week, and rotate those, different ones from out of the city, even out of the state. And it was like a big party. There was the guy who does the karaoke is, as far as I know, the pastor of the church, and he had a business prior. So he runs this karaoke business and starts doing this for the church 15 years ago. Full sound system, just loud music. Everybody's having fun. People can hear it from the streets. They're coming in from the streets. Again, mind you, in the middle of Skid Row, which there's tents set up. There's lines of hundreds of people getting into homeless shelters that evening. Just quite a sight to see. Just thinking about the population of homeless men there, that was probably the biggest majority of people that showed up. There were homeless women as well, but we've talked a lot as a group about that demographic especially, and how just tired of homeless men people seem to be wherever we go. There's lots of programs, but it's just something that we found really cool to see. I mean, talk about the least of these. These are the least of the least of these. And these people really embraced them. It was a community. It was family to them. They had fun. And to see that all in the name of Jesus was a very cool thing.
We got connected with World Impact. World Impact's an organization that primarily serves people who live in urban and poor communities. And it actually started there in Los Angeles. They have a unique philosophy on how church can be structured. And so one of the things we did while we were there was we met with a simple church. Simple churches end up meeting any place that is available. It could be a home, it could be a street corner, it could be the beach. Actually, the day we went, we met on a beach with a Simple Church, and they were doing a baptism there, which was a really beautiful ceremony to be a part of. They talked about church and how we do church in the United States, and so often we set the bar so high for how we're doing our services here. And then in turn we end up lowering the bar for what it means to actually be a disciple and follow Jesus Christ. And so the issues that they talked to us about were, if we have this big show and this big thing that we do, and that's our church, there aren't very many people that can ultimately be involved with that. It leaves room only for the most talented among us to serve. So what Simple Church ends up doing is flips that model upside down and creates a space where everyone, no matter who they are, can exercise ministry in the body of Christ to one another. They really see their end goal being to create room and leave space for people to walk out and follow the Lord, and to hear his voice, and then to minister in terms and according to what the Lord tells them. So that was really a neat thing to see.
While we were in Phoenix, we were able to go visit a children's home called Sunshine Acres. They call this place the Miracle of the Desert because when it was first established, they bought this land in the middle of the desert. Obviously you have to have water to stay anywhere in the desert, and prayer was a big part of the founders' lives. And so praying and just hoping that the well wouldn't go dry, and then one day it did, and so they had to redig it, and by their prayer and a miracle of God, they were able to find more water and able to stay. There was one story that the president was sharing with us, that she said that they were a significant amount under budget, and they needed this X amount of money to make it for the fiscal year, and she just prayed about it the way that her dad had taught her to pray, and she's like, just give it to the Lord. He just told her just to give it to the Lord. That next day she got a phone call from just an agency, I think it was a lawyer, and they were asking if they could make a donation of the exact amount that they needed.